My name is Jacob, and I spent 23 years building Thomson Industries from a small manufacturing shop into a $50 million company. 3 days after my wife's funeral, her son fired me. "Jacob, we need to talk," Brandon said, standing in my office doorway. I looked up from the financial reports. "What's going on?" "I'm making changes. The board voted to restructure leadership." "Restructure?" I set down my pen. "What does that mean?" "Your services are no longer needed." He dropped a folder on my desk. "Effective immediately." I felt my chest tighten. "Brandon, your mother and I built this company together. I've been CFO for 15 years. "My mother built this company," he corrected. "You just worked here." "That's not true." I stood up. "We started this in our garage. I mortgaged my house to fund the first expansion." "According to company records, my mother was the sole founder. You were an early employee. That's all." "Catherine and I were equal partners," I said. "We agreed—" "My mother's will left the company to me," he interrupted. "I'm CEO now, and I'm taking things in a new direction." "We just buried her 3 days ago." My voice shook. "Can we at least talk about this?" "There's nothing to talk about." He pointed at the folder. "Your severance package is in there. Sign it today." I opened the folder. 2 weeks severance. No benefits. No acknowledgement of my ownership stake. "This is insulting," I said. "I own 40% of this company." "No, you don't," Brandon smiled. "Check the corporate filings. My mother owned 100%. You're just an employee being let go." "That's a lie." I grabbed my phone. "I have documents." "You have nothing," he said. "Security will escort you out in 30 minutes. He walked out, leaving me staring at the papers that erased 23 years of my life. I called my best friend Tyler immediately. "Tyler, I need you at my office right now," I said. "What's wrong?" "Brandon just fired me, and he's claiming Catherine was the sole owner." "That's insane," Tyler said. "Everyone knows you built this together." "Can you grab my files from the shared drive?" I asked. "Partnership agreements, investment records, everything with my name on it." "I'm on it," Tyler said. "But Jacob, he's been sending emails to all department heads." "What kind of emails?" "Telling everyone you were just an employee. He's rewriting history." 20 minutes later, security appeared at my door. "Mr. Jacob, we need you to leave the building," the guard said. I packed my personal photos while they watched. Catherine's smile looked at me from every frame. I called attorney Jessica Martinez the next morning. "Jessica, I need your help," I said. "My stepson is trying to steal my company." "Start from the beginning," she said. I explained the firing, the false severance package, and Brandon's claims. "Do you have documentation proving your ownership?" Jessica asked. "I have copies at home," I said. "Partnership agreements, bank records showing my investments, emails from Catherine discussing our equal stake." "Good," Jessica said. "We need everything. Articles of incorporation, board meeting minutes, tax returns." "Brandon controls all the official records now," I said. "That's why we move fast," Jessica said. "I'm filing an emergency injunction today to freeze any changes to corporate documents." Tyler called that afternoon. "Jacob, you need to hear this," he said. "Brandon held an all-hands meeting." "What did he say?" "He told everyone you were embezzling company funds. He claims that's why you were fired." "That's defamation," I said. "It gets worse," Tyler said. He's meeting with clients, telling them the company is under new management and implying you were the problem. Can you record anything? I asked. Get proof? I've been documenting everything, Tyler said. Emails, meeting notes, screenshots. Sarah from accounting is helping too. Sarah Williams? Yeah, she's furious, Tyler said. She knows you invested your own money. She has financial records going back to the founding. Tell her to make copies before Brandon can destroy them, I said. Jessica called back that evening. I got the injunction, she said. Brandon can't alter any corporate records. The judge wants to see evidence from both sides. How long do we have? 2 weeks, Jessica said. We need to build an airtight case. I spent the next 10 days gathering evidence. Catherine's laptop had emails discussing our partnership. Our joint tax returns showed equal investment. Tyler found board meeting minutes where Catherine referred to Jacob and I as co-founders. Sarah sent accounting records showing my capital contributions over 23 years. Over $2 million of my own money had gone into Stepson Industries. I found something else, Tyler called to tell me. Brandon sent an email to the board claiming you agreed to be a salaried employee with no ownership stake. That's fraud, I said.
Richard Cooper from the board is asking questions, Tyler said. He doesn't believe Brandon's story. Can you connect me with Richard? Already did, Tyler said. He wants to meet tomorrow. I met Richard at a coffee shop downtown. Jacob, I've been on this board for 8 years, Richard said. Catherine always referred to you as her partner. Brandon's lying, I said. I know, Richard said. The other board members are getting suspicious, too. We're calling an emergency meeting next week. Will I be allowed to attend? You'll be the main speaker, Richard said. Bring your evidence. The board meeting took place in the conference room where I'd spent countless hours planning Stepson Industries' future. Brandon sat at the head of the table, looking confident. This meeting is inappropriate, he said. Jacob is no longer employed here. This meeting is about corporate governance, Richard said. We have questions about ownership structure. The ownership structure is clear, Brandon said. My mother owned the company. Then you won't mind if we review the evidence, Richard said. Jacob, you have the floor. I stood up and distributed folders to each board member. These documents prove that Catherine and I were equal partners, I said. This is a waste of time, Brandon interrupted. Let him speak, board member Patricia Evans said sharply. Page 1 shows the original partnership agreement from 2001, I continued. Catherine and I each contributed $50,000. We agreed to equal ownership. That document isn't legally binding, Brandon said. Page 3 shows the Articles of Incorporation, I said. Catherine Stepson and Jacob Anderson, co-founders, each holding 50%. Brandon's face went pale. Those records were amended. Yes, I said. Page 5 shows an amendment from 2015. Catherine took 60%, I took 40%. We both signed it. I've never seen that document, Brandon said. Because you destroyed the office copies, Sarah Williams said from the doorway. But I kept backups in accounting. You're not authorized to be here, Brandon stood up. I invited her, Richard said. Sit down, Brandon. Sarah walked to the front. I have financial records showing Jacob's capital contributions over 23 years. He invested over $2 million of personal funds. So did my mother, Brandon said. Your mother invested company profits, Sarah said. Jacob invested from his personal accounts. I have bank statements. I pulled out my laptop. I also have emails between Catherine and myself discussing our partnership. Private emails aren't evidence, Brandon said desperately. These are company emails, I said. I read from the screen.
From Catherine, dated March 2023. Jacob, as equal partners, we need to decide on the new hire together. From Catherine, June 2023. My partner Jacob and I have built something amazing here. She was just being nice, Brandon muttered. From Catherine, 2 months before she died, I continued. Jacob, make sure Brandon understands that you're not an employee. You're my partner and you've earned every bit of this company. The room went silent. I don't believe this, Brandon said. I have the original email on the server, Tyler said from the back, complete with metadata showing it was never altered. Why are you here? Brandon turned on him. I quit this morning, Tyler said. I don't work for liars. Richard looked at Brandon. Do you have any evidence supporting your claim? The current corporate records, which you altered 3 days after becoming CEO, Patricia said. We checked the modification dates. Brandon's jaw clenched. This is my company now. No, Richard said. It's not. I'm calling for a vote, Richard announced. Brandon Taylor's position as CEO is under review. All in favor of removing him? 5 hands went up immediately. This is illegal, Brandon shouted. You can't do this. We absolutely can, Patricia said. You committed fraud and defamation. Jacob, we owe you an apology, Richard said. I appreciate that, I said. Brandon turned to me, his arrogance cracking. Jacob, please, we can work this out. Work what out? I asked calmly. You can come back, he said quickly. I'll reinstate you as CFO. We'll forget this happened. Forget that you fired me 3 days after my wife's funeral, I said. Forget that you tried to erase 23 years of my life? I was upset, Brandon said. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking very clearly, I said. You wanted total control and you didn't care who you destroyed. I'm sorry, he said. Really. My mom would want us to work together. Don't you dare, I said, my voice hard. Don't use Catherine's memory to manipulate me. Jacob, I'm begging you. The answer is no, I said. I don't want to work with you. I don't trust you, and I never will. Jessica stood up. We're prepared to file a lawsuit for fraud, defamation, and wrongful termination.
We're seeking full restoration of Jacob's ownership stake plus damages.
How much damages? Brandon asked weakly. $7 million, Jessica said, plus legal fees. I don't have that kind of money, Brandon said. Then you'll need to sell company assets, Jessica said. The board has already voted, Richard said. We're offering Jacob a settlement, full restoration of his 40% ownership, plus $3 million in damages, plus a formal apology. And Brandon? I asked. Brandon will remain as a minority shareholder, Patricia said, but he's removed as CEO effective immediately. He'll have no management authority. You're giving my company to him? Brandon looked around desperately. It was never your company alone, Richard said. That's the point. Tyler walked over and put his hand on my shoulder. Congratulations, man. I don't want to run the company anymore, I said to the board. I'm 58 years old and I just lost my wife. I'm tired. What do you want? Richard asked. Buy me out, I said. Fair market value for my 40%, and I want it in writing that Brandon had no right to fire me. Done, Patricia said immediately. And I want a public statement, I said, correcting the record about who built this company. We'll issue it today, Richard said. Brandon slumped in his chair. I've lost everything. No, I said. You lost what you tried to steal. There's a difference. Please, Jacob, he tried one more time. Give me another chance. You had 23 years, I said. You chose to wait until your mother died to show your true colors. I'll apologize publicly, he offered. I don't want your apology, I said. I want you to live with what you did. Jessica packed up her briefcase. We'll have the settlement papers ready by Friday. Jacob, you'll walk away with $12 million and your reputation restored. What about me? Brandon asked. You get to keep 15% of the company you tried to steal, Patricia said coldly. The industry will blacklist me, Brandon said. That's what happens when you commit fraud, Tyler said. Actions have consequences. Sarah stepped forward. For the record, I'm submitting my resignation too. I won't work for someone like you, Brandon. Neither will I, another voice said. I turned to see 3 more department heads in the doorway. Looks like you're losing more than just the CEO title, Richard observed. Brandon put his head in his hands. This isn't fair. You want to talk about fair? I said. You fired me while I was grieving. You called me an embezzler. You tried to rewrite history. I know I messed up, he whispered. You showed everyone who you really are, I said. Jessica checked her watch. We're done here. Jacob, let's go. Wait, Brandon called as I headed for the door. What am I supposed to do now? I turned back one last time. That's not my problem anymore. Walking out of that building, I felt lighter than I had in weeks. Catherine would have been proud. Not because I destroyed Brandon, but because I stood up for the truth. Justice isn't about revenge. It's about making sure the truth comes out and the right people are held accountable. Have you ever had someone try to rewrite your history and steal credit for your work? Sometimes the best victory is just making sure everyone knows the truth. Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.